A secant line intersects the graph of f of x is equal to x squared plus 5x at 2 points with x coordinates 3 and t, where t does not equal 3. What is the slope of the secant line in terms of t? Your answer must be fully expanded and simplified. And my apologies ahead of time if I'm a little out of breath. I just try to do some exercises in my office to get some blood moving, and I think I'm still a little out of breath. But anyway, so we want to find the slope of the secant line, and they essentially give us 2 points in the secant line. They tell us what x is at each of those 2 points, and then if we know what x is, we're able to figure out what f of x is at each of those points. So we can make a little table here. We know x, and we know f of x. So when x is equal to 3, what is f of x? Well, it's going to be 3 squared plus 5 times 3. Well, this is going to be 9 plus 15, which is 24. So this is going to be 24. And when x is equal to t, what is f of t? Well, it is going to be t squared plus 5t. And so we have 2 points now that are on this line. This is a secant line. It intersects our function twice. So it has these 2 points on it. And so we just have to find our change in y between these 2 points, change in y, and our change in x, change in x. And I'm assuming that y is equal to f of x. So our slope of our secant line is change in y over change in x. Our change in y, if we view this as our end point, the second one with the t's in as our end point, it's going to be that minus that. So it's going to be t squared plus 5t minus 24. And then in our denominator, our ending x minus our starting x is going to be t minus 3. Now they tell us our answer must be fully expanded and simplified. So maybe there's a way to simplify this a little bit. Let's see, can I factor the top into something that involves a t minus 3? All right, so in the numerator, let's see, negative 3 times positive 8 is negative 24. Negative 3 plus positive 8 is 5. So we can rewrite this as t plus 8 times t minus 3. And so we could say this is going to be equal to, if we cancel out the t minus 3s, or we divide the numerator and the denominator by t minus 3, it's going to be equal to t plus 8. Now, if we wanted to be really strict, mathematically strict, this expression isn't exactly the same as our original expression right over here. What makes them different? Well, they're going to be true for all t's except where t equals 3. This thing right over here is defined at t equals 3. In fact, when t equals 3, this expression is equal to 11. But this thing up here was not defined at t equals 3. So if you wanted to be particular about it, if you want this expression to be the exact same thing, you would say for t does not equal 3. Now this can take the same inputs as this one right over there. But I guess they're assuming where t does not equal 3. So this you could view this as maybe a little bit redundant. But this is the slope of the secant line in terms of t.